Welcome back, fellow Stoics. Let's cut through the noise and get brutally honest. Picture this. You're always available, always eager, bending over backward just to win their attention. You drop everything when they call, constantly trying to please them, practically throwing your dignity out the window just for a shred of validation. Here's the hard truth. You're not coming across as attractive. You're coming across as desperate, needy. And let's face it, no one is drawn to someone who looks like they have zero control over their emotions or self-worth. Desperation doesn't attract, it repels. And that's exactly what's happening. You're not inspiring connection, you're pushing it away. Think about it. Are you that person constantly checking their phone, waiting for a text, convincing yourself that maybe, just maybe, today is the day they'll finally choose you? Let me ask you, does that behavior feel strong to you? Does it feel dignified? No, it feels pathetic. The reality is that no one respects someone ready to sacrifice their identity for a crumb of attention. If you're acting like your entire existence revolves around them, you've already lost. You wouldn't find that attractive in someone else, and guess what? They don't either. The truth is harsh but necessary. You've made yourself so available, so desperate, that they've stopped seeing your value. You've turned into background noise, easily ignored, easily taken for granted. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be this way. The fact that they're not choosing you isn't about your worth. It's about the way you're showing up. You've made it too easy. People don't value what they don't have to work for. If you want to shift the dynamic, you need to stop chasing, stop begging, stop waiting for their attention to define you. You need to flip the script. And that's where Stoicism comes in. Stoicism teaches us to master ourselves, to prioritize our growth, our strength. When you become so grounded and in control of your own life, you radiate a power that others can't ignore. The key isn't to convince them to choose you. The key is becoming someone they can't help but notice. So let's break it down. In this video, we're diving into the Stoic way to regain your power and make them see your value, not by chasing after them, but by mastering yourself. Hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to Virtual Stoic for more on personal development and Stoicism. Imagine this. You're no longer the person begging for attention. You've transformed. You're confident, self-assured, and unshakable. You don't chase others, they come to you. This isn't some fantasy. This is the power of Stoicism. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to make them choose you without ever having to beg for it. But before we dive into this transformation, I want to throw down a challenge for you. You've been playing the game, chasing, begging, hoping for validation. But today, I'm asking you to make a bold, life-changing decision. Ask yourself, are you ready to stop letting others dictate how you feel about yourself? Are you ready to take back your power? If the answer is yes, affirm it right now. I control my value. Say it, believe it, and write it down in the comments. This isn't about them anymore. This is about you. You're not waiting for someone to choose you. You're reclaiming control of your own story. Let them see that desperation is no longer part of who you are. Today is the day you claim your worth. Drop that affirmation in the comments. I control my value. Accept this challenge and become the one they're chasing. In this video, we'll discuss 7 Stoic techniques that will completely shift the dynamic and make them choose you over anyone else. These aren't cheap tricks or manipulative tactics. These are time-tested Stoic principles designed to put you back in control of your life and relationships. When you apply these techniques, you won't just flip the script. You'll elevate yourself to a place where your worth is undeniable. Ready to begin? Let's dive in. Step number 1. Embrace Stoic detachment. The reason they're treating you like an option, not a priority, is simple. You've been acting like one. You're giving too much, showing too much, and making their attention the center of your universe. That's exactly why they're not choosing you. Here's the truth. The more you chase, the more you diminish your value in their eyes. And let's be real. You think if you just give a little more, show a little more love, they'll suddenly wake up and realize how amazing you are. But guess what? It won't happen. This is where Stoic detachment comes in. This isn't about being cold or shutting off your emotions. It's about mastering them. When you let go of the desperate need for their validation, you take back your power. People are drawn to those who are in control of themselves, not those constantly begging for attention. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Right now, you need to detach from this overwhelming want of being chosen. Stop craving their approval and start living your life as if you don't need it. If you're trying to attract someone new, they won't choose you if you're constantly available and seeking their attention. They'll look for someone who values themselves enough not to throw their worth at their feet. When you detach, you create a sense of mystery, and mystery is powerfully attractive. And what if you're dealing with someone who seems distant? The answer is the same. They're distant because they know you'll always be there. They don't feel the need to close the gap because you've made it far too easy. But the moment you stop making them the center of your world is the moment they start noticing. You don't need to be aggressive. You just need to create absence. Enough absence to spark curiosity. Here's a metaphor. Imagine a dog chasing its tail, running in circles endlessly. That's you, chasing after their attention. It's exhausting, and they're just standing there, completely uninterested. But what happens if the dog stops? The tail comes closer. Stop chasing, detach, and watch how the dynamic shifts. Step number 2, stop chasing. When you stop chasing, something powerful happens. They start to notice. They begin to wonder why you're not running after them anymore. That's human nature. Once you step back, you create the space for them to make a move. Now let's address the reality. Detaching feels hard. Your emotions are involved, and you want to be chosen. But here's the truth. You won't lose anything by stepping back, you'll only gain. It'll be uncomfortable at first. You'll feel the urge to text them, check in, or do something, anything to remind them you exist. Resist it. Detaching isn't about cutting them off. It's about valuing your time and showing them that you're not dependent on their attention. Here's how to do it. Find things that matter outside of them. Focus on your goals, passions, and well-being. Show them that your world doesn't revolve around them. When they see this, they'll start looking at you differently. You won't just be another option. You'll become someone worth choosing. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is Stoic detachment in action. You can't control how they respond, but you can control how you act. And when you act with strength, detaching from the need to be chosen, you become someone they see in a whole new light. Here's what I want you to do. Close your eyes and repeat, I release the need for validation. Say it, feel it, breathe it. You are in control of your story. You don't need to be chosen to be valuable. You already have value. Now drop that affirmation in the comments. I release the need for validation. Let the universe know that from this moment on, you're no longer chasing. You're detached, powerful, and ready to let them see your worth. Step number 3, raise your standards and stick to them. Let's make this crystal clear. You set the standards for how others treat you. If your standards are low, they'll never feel the need to rise above them. But the moment you raise the bar, when you stop accepting behavior that disrespects your time, energy, and self-respect, that's when things shift. If you're trying to attract someone new and you're constantly bending over backward to make them happy, stop right now. All you're showing them is that you'll accept whatever little effort they give. You're telling them it's okay if they don't prioritize you, you'll still be there. But here's the game changer. Once you raise your standards, once you demand more from them, they'll have to step up or step out. And trust me, the right people will step up. Now, if you're dealing with someone distant, raising your standards becomes even more crucial. They're distant because they know you'll stick around no matter how little effort they put in. Why would they step up if you haven't shown them they need to? Raising your standards forces them to either rise to the occasion or fall behind. It's their choice, but you need to give them that choice by making it clear you won't settle for less. But here's the real truth. Raising your standards isn't just about them, it's about you. It's about deciding that you're worth more than half-hearted attention and mediocre effort. It's about knowing that your time, energy, and love are precious, and you're not going to waste them on someone who isn't willing to match that effort. Step number 4, build genuine emotional connections. All right, folks, let's take this a step further. If you want them to choose you over everyone else, it's not about being the most attractive or saying the right things. It's about building a real, genuine emotional connection. That's what keeps someone hooked. Physical attraction fades, but emotional connection, that's what lasts. Without it, no matter how much you try, they'll always feel like something's missing. Let's be real for a second. Are you actually building connections with people? Or are you just playing a game of trying to get them to like you? There's a big difference. You can spend all your energy trying to impress them, trying to be who you think they want you to be, but still fall short. Why? Because you're not being real. You're not allowing a genuine connection to form. You're focused on gaining their approval, not on truly connecting with them and letting them get to know you. Now, if you're trying to attract someone new, especially if they're used to people falling all over them, you have to stand out by being authentic. People are tired of fake. They're tired of the same lines, the same acts, and the same personas. The minute you drop the act and show them who you truly are, that's when you become irreplaceable. I'm not saying spill your life story in the first 5 minutes, no, I'm saying engage authentically. Listen, open up at the right time. Make them feel seen and understood. That's when you become someone they can't forget. And if you're trying to win back someone who seems distant, the rules are the same. They've probably pulled away because something about your connection didn't feel genuine anymore. Maybe you've been focused on keeping them interested rather than deepening the relationship. You've been playing a game trying to win them over, but in doing so, you stopped being real. And people can sense that. Be authentic, be present, and allow real emotional connections to flourish. When you do that, you'll become someone they can't help but choose. Step number 5, maintain your independence and self-respect. All right, folks, we've talked about detaching emotionally and building real connections, but now let's dive into something essential: maintaining your independence and self-respect. This is the bedrock of everything. If you lose these two things, you lose the very essence of what makes you attractive, valuable, and worthy of being chosen. Let's get one thing clear. Nobody wants to be with someone who's lost their identity in the relationship. If you've built your entire world around this one person, if your happiness, sense of worth, and self-esteem are all tied up in how they feel about you, you've given up your independence and traded your self-respect for crumbs of validation. I know it's harsh, but it's the truth. And let me tell you, they see that. Here's the reality. People are drawn to those who have their own lives, their passions, and their own goals. Someone who doesn't need constant attention, approval, or validation to feel whole. That's what makes you stand out. When you maintain your independence, you show them that your world doesn't revolve around them. You're not sitting around waiting for their every move, and trust me, that's when they start sitting up and taking notice. Now, if you're trying to attract someone new, they're not going to choose you if they sense that you've got nothing else going on in your life. It's unattractive. Think about it. Would you choose someone who drops everything the moment you give them a bit of attention? Is someone always available, always waiting? No, you wouldn't, and neither will they. So maintain your independence. Have a life outside of them. Keep your passions, your goals, your hobbies, your friends, your sense of self-respect. When you do that, they'll see the real value in you. Number 6, independence. Someone who has their path, their direction. Someone who isn't just existing in the shadow of your life, but thriving in their world. That's independence. If you're already in a relationship and they seem distant, it's even more critical to maintain your independence. Maybe at some point you started bending your life to fit around them, losing pieces of yourself along the way. That's when people start to take you for granted because they know you'll always be there no matter what. But when you maintain your own life, when you don't stop your growth just because you're in a relationship, they begin to respect you more. They realize that if they want to keep you, they need to match your energy. Let's break this down further. Independence doesn't mean shutting people out. It doesn't mean building walls around yourself and refusing to let them in. It means knowing that you have value beyond their opinion of you. It means continuing to work on your own goals, dreams, and passions, with or without them. When you maintain your independence, you're telling them, I'm whole on my own, and I'm not relying on you to make me feel complete. This also ties directly into self-respect. Respect isn't something you can demand from others. It's something you command by the way you carry yourself. If you don't respect yourself, why should anyone else? And self-respect starts with how you allow people to treat you. If you're constantly tolerating disrespect, if you're letting them treat you like an option, you're showing them that your standards are low. When your standards are low, they'll never feel the need to rise. Think about it. Imagine you're at a restaurant paying for a premium meal, but the waiter brings you something half-baked, barely seasoned, and just thrown together. Would you accept that? Or would you send it back and demand better because you know your money is worth more than that? Your self-respect works the same way. If you accept less than what you deserve, you're telling them it's okay to treat you poorly. But when you have self-respect, you won't settle for anything less than what you know you're worth. And let me be clear, self-respect isn't about being arrogant or demanding. It's about knowing your worth and refusing to settle for anything that doesn't align with that worth. When you respect yourself, others will start to respect you too. It's a natural law. They'll realize that if they want to be with you, they have to treat you with the same level of respect that you treat yourself with. But what if this feels difficult? What if you've already lost yourself in the relationship or are afraid that if you assert your independence, they'll pull away? Here's the thing. You might feel like you're walking a tightrope at first, balancing between keeping them interested and staying true to yourself. But the truth is, the more you cling, the further they'll pull away. The more you maintain your independence, the more attractive you become because you're showing them that you're not afraid to stand alone. And people are drawn to that strength. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. This applies directly to how you view yourself in relationships. If you think you need someone else to complete you, you'll always feel lacking. But if you understand that your value is inherent, that you're already complete, you'll radiate confidence and independence. That's the kind of energy that draws people in. So how do you incorporate this into your life? Start by focusing on you. Get back in touch with your own goals, hobbies, and passions. Spend time working on things that make you feel fulfilled, things that have nothing to do with them. Set boundaries. Don't let them treat you in a way that disrespects your time or energy. And most importantly, stop giving up pieces of yourself just to keep them around. You deserve better. Here's your affirmation. I am whole on my own. Say it, believe it, write it down in the comments. Close your eyes for a moment and let it sink in. You are enough. You don't need their approval to feel valuable. You don't need their validation to feel important. You are whole, strong, and capable, all on your own. Number 7, communicate. Let the universe know that you've reclaimed your independence and your self-respect. Drop that affirmation in the comments. I am whole on my own. Let them see that you're no longer chasing, no longer bending, losing yourself. You're stepping into your power, and from now on, they'll have to rise to meet your standards if they want to be a part of your life. Communicate effectively and assert your needs. Let me tell you something real quick. Nobody is going to read your mind. If you're waiting for someone to suddenly understand what you need without ever saying it, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. You've got to communicate. You've got to express what you want, what you expect, and what you need if you ever want them to truly see you and choose you over others. Here's the thing. When you don't communicate, when you hold back, you're only creating frustration for yourself. You might think that being silent or easygoing will make you more likable, but it only leads to your needs being neglected. People respect those who dare to voice what they need and who set clear boundaries. If you're trying to attract someone new, you don't need to be passive, hoping they'll notice what you need. Be confident in expressing what you want. You don't need to be aggressive or demanding, just clear. People are drawn to those who know what they want and aren't afraid to say it. If you're already in a relationship and they seem distant, it's even more critical. If you feel like you're giving more than you're receiving, say it. Don't let that resentment build up until it's impossible to fix. Being open about your needs doesn't push people away. It invites them to step up and meet you at your level. They can't meet your needs if they don't know what they are. Effective communication is a two-way street. It's not just about asserting your needs, but also about listening to theirs. When both people feel heard and respected, the connection becomes deeper, and that's what makes them choose you. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Apply this wisdom. Don't waste time assuming they know what you need. Be clear, be open, be honest. Here's your affirmation. I speak my truth with confidence. Say it, believe it. Write it in the comments. Let them know that you're done being silent. You're stepping up, expressing your needs, and showing them that you deserve to be heard. Number 8, affirmation, stronger every day. Say it, believe it, and write it down in the comments. Let them know that you're not staying the same, that you're leveling up. If they want to be in your life, they need to keep up with the person you're becoming. Drop that affirmation, I grow stronger every day, and watch how they start to see you differently. Because when you showcase your growth, you make them realize you're someone worth choosing, someone they can't afford to lose. Let's face it, sometimes the biggest reason you're not being chosen is because of the mistakes you're making that push them away. It's not always about what you're lacking, it's about what you're doing that makes you less attractive in their eyes. If you keep falling into these traps, it doesn't matter how much you work on yourself. You'll keep pushing them further away without even realizing it. Desperation is a killer. Constantly seeking validation, texting too much, or trying too hard to be noticed only screams insecurity. People are drawn to confidence and independence, not neediness. Stop chasing them, because the more you chase, the more they'll run. Over-explaining yourself. Stop justifying every little thing you do. When you're overly concerned with their opinion, it weakens your position. Stand firm in your decisions and let your actions speak for themselves. Losing yourself in the relationship, sacrificing your independence, goals, or friends for them will only make you seem less attractive. They'll start taking you for granted, and you'll lose the spark that made you appealing in the first place. Playing games or being overly manipulative, whether it's trying to make them jealous or acting hot and cold, people can see through this. It's not attractive, it's exhausting. Be authentic. As Epictetus said, no great thing is created suddenly. Your connection with them won't grow if you're constantly pushing them away with these mistakes. Here's your affirmation. I stop pushing, I attract. Say it, believe it, drop it in the comments. Let the universe know you're done with self-sabotage. From now on, you're focused on attracting, not pushing them away. Now that you've learned these powerful Stoic techniques to make them choose you, it's time to take action. Remember, you're no longer chasing, no longer settling, and no longer making the mistakes that push them away. You're stepping into your power and showing them what they'll lose if they don't step up. So if this video helped you, hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and share this video with someone who needs to hear these life-changing steps. Don't forget to drop your affirmations. I control my value in the comments and let the universe know you're ready to be the one worth choosing.